Hello grade 1, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about picture graphs. What do you mean by picture graph? Or what is meant by picture graph? Don't go anywhere else because I'm going to answer these questions right here, right now. Before we answer the question, what is the meaning of picture graph? Let me state first our goals after watching this video. Are you ready now? Our first goal is, after watching this video, you are expected to be able to classify and collect data, make a tally chart and simple picture graphs, and read and interpret tally charts and picture graphs. Now, let's answer the question, what is a picture graph? A picture graph is just actually a graph with pictures. So it's just like what you've seen in the screen right now. We have a lot of pictures here. We have teddy bears, we have some dolls, and we have some toy cars. Before we finally make our own picture graphs, let's start making tally chart first. The question here is, how do we make a tally chart? And why is it important to make tally chart? Before I answer those questions, let's make a tally chart first based or out of these pictures. In making a tally chart, first we have to make this kind of table. There should be, or the toys should be on the first column. We have a toy car on top, followed by doll, followed by teddy bear. And here in the next column is our tally marks. And for the final column is for the number of toys. To do the tally mark, we have to tick on the picture we already have counted, just like this. Tick on the toy car and make sure to put one tally mark under the tally column, just like this. Next, we tick on one teddy bear and there should be one tally mark under this column. We tick on one doll and there should be one tally mark under this column. Next, we tick on this doll and we're going to add one tally mark under this column. And you do that until you are able to tick on the last toy in the picture. Did you get that? Now, look at the tally marks. If there are 4 tally marks, it shows 4. It means there are 4 toys, there are 4 objects. If you see something like this, we have 4 tally marks, and the 5th tally mark is somehow slanted. This shows 5. We group tally marks in sets of 5 so that it is easier for us to count the numbers or the tally marks, just like that. And the reason why it is important to make a tally chart so that it would be easier for us to count, just like that. We don't count over again and again and again. Did you get that? So, the number of toy cars is 2. The number of dolls is, this is already 5, and there's one more, so we have a total of 6. And the number of teddy bears, this is 5, and 3 more, we have a total of 8. If we have already a tally chart, then we can answer any question about the picture. Are you excited to know what these questions are? Here are some of the questions we can ask about the given tally chart. Number 1, how many teddy bears are there? You don't have to go back to the picture and count the number of teddy bears there are in the picture. You don't have to do that anymore because you already have your tally chart. And how many teddy bears? there are 8 of them. So we just write 8. See? That's the reason why it is important to make a tally chart to avoid counting over and over and over again. Let's have question number 2. How many dolls are there? Just look at the tally chart and look at the number corresponding to the number of dolls. And it is 6. See? Let's have question number 3. How many toy cars are there? There are a total of 2 toy cars. And finally, question number 4. How many more teddy bears than dolls are there? Take note of question number 4. There's a word more. Actually, it's more than. It means we are already comparing 2 objects. Again, if we are comparing, we have to subtract 2 numbers. What are these numbers we are going to subtract? The number of teddy bears and the number of dolls. How many teddy bears are there? There are 8 of them. How many dolls? There are 6 of them. So all you have to do, subtract those 2 numbers. 8 minus 6 is 2. Therefore, there are 2 more teddy bears than dolls in the given picture. Did you get that? I hope you are able to get the point here. I hope that after this lesson, you will know how to do your own tally chart. This time, I'm going to teach you on how to make a picture graph. Again, a picture graph is just a graph with pictures, just like that. And I'm sorry to say this is already the last part of our video. Don't worry, I will make more videos in the future. All right, in the picture, we have some sharpeners, pens, and erasers. Our goal here is to make a picture graph. Now, grade 1, we cannot always draw whatever is given. In this case, sharpener. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's okay to draw sharpeners, a lot of sharpeners. It's also fine to draw a lot of erasers. Yeah. And for pens, it's also right. It's okay to write or draw a lot of pens. But sometimes the objects given are difficult to draw. That's why as early as now, we have to practice to use other objects. Okay, use other objects in making our picture graph. This is what we are going to do. We can use a red chip or counter. Yeah, red chip or counter to represent the red pens. So we use red chips for all red pens. Take note of that. And we're going to use green chip or green chips or counters for erasers. Blue chips or counters for sharpeners. And this is going to be our graph or just a table. By the way, grade 1, don't forget to name your table or graph. The name of this graph is number of different types of stationery. What do you mean by stationery? These objects are examples of stationery. Stationery means these are objects we use to write, or draw, anything. You go to the National Bookstore and you can see a lot of stationeries there. So let's start with the pens. Remember, we're going to use red chips for the number of pens. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pens here. So there should be 6 red chips or red counters. There are 3 erasers in the picture. Then there should be 3 green chips. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharpeners. So there should be 5 blue chips or counters. This is now our picture graph. Teacher, can we use other objects like paper clips, like marbles? Yeah, you can use other objects. It's up to you. Now that we already have our picture graph, we are now ready to answer questions. But before we answer questions, let's put the number first on top of each stationery. What did I mean by that? What I meant is, let's count the number of pens or the number of red chips and put the number of on top so that we won't forget the number. That's my purpose. That's our purpose. So there are 6 here, so we write 6 on top. There are 3 green chips, so we write 3 on top. There are 5 blue chips, so we write 5 on top. Remember that these numbers represent the number of pens, the number of erasers, and the number of sharpeners in the group. All right, let's now move on to question number 1. Question number 1, how many pens are there? Even if you're going to close your eyes, you can tell how many pens there are. But don't do that, because if you're going to close your eyes, you can't see the number 6 here. See? The number of pens is 6. Next, number 2. How many more sharpeners than erasers are there? Oh my goodness, we are now comparing again. We are comparing the number of sharpeners and the number of erasers in our picture graph. Look at the picture graph. As you can see here, there are 2 more sharpeners than erasers. Sharpeners, erasers. Look at the chips. There are 2 more sharpeners, right, than erasers. Or, since we are comparing, we should subtract 2 numbers. And these numbers are 5 and 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Let's move on to question number 3. How many fewer sharpeners than pens are there? Fewer than. We are still comparing. Comparing what? We are comparing the number of sharpeners and the number of pens. As you can see in the picture graph, there is 1 fewer sharpener than pen. Using the numbers 6 and 5, we can subtract 6 and 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Again, why do we have to subtract them? Because we are comparing. All right. Now we are down to our final question. Question number 4. How many pieces of stationery are there all together? All together meaning you are going to count all of them, or you can just add 6, 3, and 5. Let's count them all first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 stationaries all together. Or that is the same as 6 plus 3, 9, plus 5, 14. That's it, grade 1, and I hope that you learned something from this video. If you want to know more about picture graph, then why not visit your workbook? There are a lot of exercises there. Or you can gather some objects like toys, your toys, or you can have fruits and then make a picture graph out of it. All right? So that's it, and bye-bye.